Is that time of year when we look back at what has been hot or not. And Investopedia knows all this because they've been making a list. They've even, I'm told, been checking it twice. And some key trends that hit their nice or naughty list this year, well, tariffs, of course, the AI trade, you might have heard about that, and the rising price of things like gold and silver. Unsurprisingly, those are among the list of terms most searched on Investopedia. But others on the most searched list, I'm told, include affordability, private markets, and, this is random but interesting, Bad Bunny's net worth. Bad Bunny is a singer. So what insights do these words and phrases offer about the state of the investor, and what might we be watching next year? Let's bring in Caleb Silver. He is editor-in-chief at Investopedia and captain of the basketball team with which we won the New York Urban Professionals Championship 25 years ago.
Yeah, you were Mitch Robinson before there was Mitch Robinson.
I just ran up and down the court and didn't know what to do, but
you were a bored machine.
I could throw some elbows. Caleb, great to see you on back. What is this Bad Bunny's net worth? What is that?
Yeah, Bonito had a very good year, and people were very fascinated.
What is his net worth?
His net worth is about $90 million and growing as of the last check, but he had such a big year. He had the #1 album in the world, of course, topped the charts.
Got the Super Bowl.
Got the Super Bowl coming up, was on SNL. He was in the Happy Gilmore, redo. So he had a big year. People were fascinated with that. People are always fascinated with net worth of celebrities and celebrity influencers, and this was his year.
But you're Investopedia, right? So your audience are people that are probably crossing over with the CNBC audience a lot. They're invested in markets. They're interested in markets. AI trade, I thought would have been #1.
Yeah, well, it was in the top 10, but in terms of what popped the most, it was actually the word affordability, which has become a political football. But people were searching that word because things kept feeling less and less affordable when you think about housing, when you think about the rise of healthcare, and the way that people felt, especially consumers felt about the economy this year, as bad as they felt in years. Meanwhile, the economy is actually doing okay. We feel a lot worse than what's actually maybe happening, except for some people who are not having that great of a year.
So we got look at this beautiful graphic that our team made. They do beautiful work here. Affordability, #1. I get that. It's been a political football as well. Tariffs, I get that. What's interesting also besides Bad Bunny is parlay, which kind of, I think, goes to this idea that sports betting or gaming, gambling is merging with our worlds.
Yeah, they are smashing together, and I think that's going to be a huge theme in 2026 and beyond, right? The convergence of poly markets or Kalshi, probability markets, along with day trading, along with crypto trading, along with options trading, along with what's coming, which is the tokenization of assets that are going to trade 24/6 on some exchanges. We are headed for a very interesting and wild time in the capital markets, and I think this set the stage.
You've been doing this obviously a long time, and I'm sure that in your big brain, you look at these terms and you can come up with some kind of thesis about what it might symbolize, how people are thinking.
Yep.
When I look at those top 10, there is a part of it that I look at and I'm thinking, there's definitely some optimism here. Is the optimism becoming a little too optimistic? I don't know.
Well, you see a balance here is what I see. And our visitors are 18 to 80. They're individual, self-directed investors who like to be educated and make decisions. But you can see them kind of all over the place. They're worried about their personal finances. That's affordability and tariffs, obviously. Gold is that hedge feeling. A lot of older investors probably thinking about, should I continue to buy? I've done very well in the last couple of years owning gold. But then you have things like private markets, which is not something we were thinking about really broadly as investors until the president and the executive order came down saying, we're going to open up defined contribution plans to private markets and crypto in 401k plans coming up in 2026. That's going to be a big theme next year as well. So all of a sudden, investors wanted to know, what are these private markets and how could they impact my retirement portfolio?
Well, you mentioned crypto. Stablecoin is the 5th most searched for term. And we just been saying it all year, and I'm assuming a lot of people are like, they don't want to admit it, but they're like, what the hell's a stable coin, right? So they're going to Investopedia to figure it out.
Yeah, and we actually had a pretty big act, the Stablecoin Act of 2025, which introduces this into our banking system, into our treasury. That is going to be something that investors need to get used to, the fact that there are now digital assets that are a regular part of our economic mainstream through our U.S. Treasury system, and we know this is going to be an increasing trend going into 2026 and beyond.